Coming up on Up at Noon, EA is trolling Star Wars fans hard with this DLC announcement, Batman v Superman is on track to beat the Avengers, and what do you want inside your taco? Oh, that came out wrong. All that and more right now on Up at Noon Live. Hey.
What's up?
How's it going?
Hey.
Hey, welcome back to Up at Noon Live. When there's something strange in your neighborhood, what you gonna watch? Up at Noon.
But does it look good? I guess we'll find out today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Hey, so Up at Noon, if you're just tuning in for the first time ever, welcome. This is a weird live show we do. It's kind of a mixed bag. It's kind of a pile of junk. Kind of a trash fire sometimes, but there's a lot of different ways to look at this trash fire. You can do it on IGN.com. You can watch it on the PS4, Xbox One, IGN apps, as well as Roku, Twitch TV, YouTube.com, and Apple TV. Some of those have chat features attached, and we try to keep an eye on those, but that's really difficult because we're also in charge of, like, switching through graphics and not having nervous breakdowns on live internet television.
Yeah, otherwise, hop on Twitter, which you definitely have everywhere. If you don't, like, put it on your phone. I mean,
you should get Twitter.
It's free.
It's great. I love Twitter.
Great.
It's a good game.
You can have really complex arguments in very tiny, reductive versions. It's wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of weird little goofs and jokes.
So when you hop on there, use the hashtag Up at Noon. It's all one word. It's like you Pat no on or whatever.
You say that every week, and it doesn't make it any less stupid.
I try to make it easier for them, but I feel like I'm overcomplicating it.
Yeah. All right, so on that note, this is weird. We have an actual real sponsor that isn't a joke.
That's right.
This week, we are powered by Truth in an effort to prevent Catmageddon.
Right. Catmageddon is what will happen if all the cats die, and the cats will die if we smoke cigarettes around them, which is a terrible thing to do. This is like something I'm actually like pretty personally connected to. If we had like Doritos up there or something like that, I'd be like, that's cool, Doritos are right. But smoking is something I used to do for a long time. And 4 years ago, in 2 months, it'll be 4 years, I quit. And it was because of a truth campaign, actually. So
really?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of important that, like, if you're a smoker right now, you don't have to be. You can get through that. So quit smoking. These guys can help. We can help. I can help. Just tweet at me. I'll get you through it. It's not fun, but then you're in the
double
clear.
down on the Catmageddon thing. Mm-hmm. I love that they're. The truth is basically, hey, cigarettes are bad for you. They will kill you. In this case, they're basically pointing out, yeah, they'll kill you, but they will also kill cats. And then without cats, there will be no funny internet videos. And they've got a point.
They do.
So
So thank you to Truth, to our sponsors, and for helping me quit smoking. Because screw those things.
Yeah. Also, it makes me really sad when I think about animals being hurt. Like, humans are kind of gross sometimes, but like animals have little tiny lungs. It's very sad.
They do.
Anyway, here's something that happened this morning that a lot of people are real worked up about. There's a trailer for that new Ghostbusters movie.
That's right. Can you do me a favor? Can you pull up the trailer while I vamp real quick? It's on YouTube right now. The trailer. What? No, I mean I want to look at something on YouTube very specifically.
Let's see if I can find this here.
I haven't seen a like to dislike ratio on a YouTube video since we did an Up at Noon video where we said, please dislike this video. Just didn't get nearly as many.
Yeah. Wow, this is rough.
Yeah. And B, I think it was the Nintendo revealed the. Yeah, Nintendo showed Metroid Prime Federation Force at E3. That got a ton of dislikes.
Damn.
This is pretty. I mean, but still, close to 500,000 views. This will probably do 1 million by the end of the day. That's huge. Ghostbusters is a movie franchise, a cinematic universe, a toy line, a animated show that was very near and dear to me as a kid. It was actually the first toys I ever collected were Ghostbusters. So they've been trying to get this movie off the ground for 3 decades now. There's been so many different versions of it. There was the version they pitched at one point where Bill Murray played a ghost. There was a rebooted version. There was Ghostbusters 3. Some say that the video game was actually Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job with that. Ghostbusters, the video game, is fantastic.
Yeah. So I watched the trailer, and then I watched it again a couple times, and there's this big pervading notion right now, and there has been since this movie was announced, that this is a terrible idea because there's female Ghostbusters, and it brought out a lot of negativity, misogyny, hatred in a lot of people. I'm here to tell you that that's a really stupid reason to not like this movie. If you saw this trailer and you hated this movie because it has women in it, you're dumb. But if you saw this trailer,
and you hated it because of other reasons, such as it being stupid,
then you're kind of right.
You have a good point there.
Yeah.
This looks like a stupid movie. Do
you
know why? Because it's about people fighting ghosts with science. It's a dumb idea for a movie. Like, I hate that we're putting this in the same category. Like, I mean, if people are treating this like Star Wars prequels or like Alien vs. Predator 2,
Right.
like something that was initially sort of serious, Ghostbusters has always been a goofy send-up of like, why would this be a thing?
Thank
like,
you.
it's always been sort of stupid.
It's
you know?
always been dumb, and that's been the point. It's been about dumb people tricking dumber people, but then somehow there's ghosts, and the dumb people have to trick the other dumb people into getting enough money to fight the ghosts.
You know what bugs me about this is, one, the trailer shows like the entire friggin' movie. Like they do that thing where they're like, we need to show enough to make them interested, as opposed to being like,
yeah,
here's something people have been waiting for 30 years. Maybe show some shots like a sizzle reel. They give away a lot of jokes, which always sucks for a comedy trailer. And then of course there's the fact that I don't know, it's a lot of very Haunted Mansion-looking CG. Like, I'm not wild about the art direction. It looks more like Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed than it does original Ghostbusters.
Yep.
I feel like maybe with, recent Star Wars, they lean into some practical effects a little bit.
Right.
And then, of course, there's the fact that
there's Uncle Sam.
The African-American Ghostbuster is the sassy one, who is street smart.
Yep.
Which is sort of like...
It's kind of problematic.
How did nobody catch that?
But hold up. All of that being said, if this trailer was just a picture of the logo and the word Ghostbusters, it would be dumb because ghosts are dumb.
Yes, Ghostbusters is a stupid idea for a movie.
But so are ghosts!
Which is why it's a great movie,
Yes.
because it's stupid.
It's stupid.
And they committed to it.
Hey, you know what's
this movie might be a lot of fun.
You know what's a really stupid movie? About a ghost?
Ghost?
Ghost.
Ghost.
The movie Ghost is a stupid-ass movie about a ghost. It's about Patrick Swayze walking down an alley and a cartoon criminal guy kills him, and then his wife has to do pottery and go to Whoopi Goldberg's house, and there's a cat that he can knock over stuff, and it's so stupid. You know why? Because the idea of a man or a woman coming back as a holographic specter and walking around a house is so incredibly dumb.
What? It's a stupid movie about ghosts, but it's a real sexy movie about ceramics.
It is. It is.
Okay.
So anyway, Ghostbusters, it looks fine. Ghosts are stupid. Women are great. That's not the problem. Everyone's going to see this, and it'll be okay.
Ghosts are stupid, women are great should be the tagline for this. All right, so one thing we love, if you hadn't ever guessed by this terrible show we do, is Star Wars. We love Star Wars. We think it's so much fun. We have been big fans of Star Wars Battlefront, in spite of the fact that...
Can you tell?
Did you get that IGN watermark backwards? Is that... Hold on.
Oh, wow, we did.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to get out of the way.
Flipping it.
Look at that.
Yeah. All right. So
hey, that's
anyway,
like the Okami box art.
Nicely done. Brought to you by NGI. So anyway, EA has finally revealed some actual stuff of what's coming in the first kind of round of Star Wars Battlefront DLC. That's a big, touchy subject. A lot of people are real fussy about it because of the whole season pass thing. They think they're being ripped off. There's something they should be much more upset about, and that's the fact that EA just straight up trolling people.
That's right.
With this announcement. Let's take a look at this. Here's the page they put up. It's beautiful. There's some cool stuff. You get to go to Sullust. You get to do this big magma pile. You got some Greedo. You got some Yen Yum. There's a Jabba's palace that looks good. Now here's the thing that's just, they're doing this to piss people off.
Yeah.
New playable hero characters will have you shooting first with Greedo.
Oh, hell no!
EA, go to hell!
Are you kidding
You
me?
are the worst company in America, trolling us.
And not
with
because of your
goofs and chuckles and
DLC
jokes.
or season pass, but that's nonsense, and you know it.
Greedo didn't shoot first.
He didn't shoot first.
No, Han Solo shot him in the stomach because he was being a jerk.
He never shot first.
Yeah. Han shot him in the face.
Side note, did you ever see that? Somebody made a gif of Alderaan shooting first.
I like that.
It shoots at the Death Star, and then the Death Star moves.
How dare you?
And then shoots back.
So they did announce one other thing. They announced a couple new blasters. There's like the Rebel V10, and there's the Diddle Wisher CG42 or something.
Stuff like deep cut Wikipedia stuff.
One of them is, in fact, a little pistol that you're going to get to shoot in the game, which makes sense. It's Greedo's gun. It's this one, if you've ever seen it. Can we get a little close-up of that gun there? So this is what Greedo's gun look like. That's pretty cool. You get to fire. It makes sense because Greedo's in there. Yeah, put it in your mouth. Get back. Get back. Another gun they have in there that I'm really excited about, there's no news about the possibility of old Mr. Bosk showing up, but this is the Relby V10, which is a micro grenade launcher, which is now a playable weapon in Battlefront.
That's awesome.
Leads me to believe that maybe we're going to get Bosk as a hero or villain in that game at some point, which would make me so happy because Bosk, he's a lizard in his spacesuit. We're going to get back to that real soon.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? Because to me, it almost feels like EA can do no right. I mean, they launched this game. It's gorgeous. It sounds better than any Star Wars game. It looks better than any Star Wars game. It's a ton of fun to play. It's just kind of light on modes for a lot of people. You and I ended up playing it for dozens of hours either way. Then there's the whole season pass thing. I think most people really wanted like Yoda, Chewbacca, Obi-Wan Kenobi right off the bat. We're getting like weirder, deeper cut characters and their weird ass guns.
I really
love that.
Stoked that we're getting Greedo and Yin Yum before we're getting Chewbacca or Lando. I mean, we're gonna get them. I really hope that they keep this up and that we get Dengar and Bossk and all these weird dudes.
Yeah.
Just like smelly mummy bounty hunters with dumb backpacks.
So to back this up, I think part of the big reason people were upset was that the Rodian helmet or head and the Sullustan heads are already unlockable in the game if you have like 50 billion credits and you're level 45 or whatever. So it's kind of lazy on their part that they just kind of took these heads that they made already and
I'm not wild about that.
But that being said, they had to make all these new costumes. They had to do animations for them. They had to give them like heroes and villains are fundamentally different than regular playable characters in those games. It's sort of like a little lazy on their part.
Yeah.
But I also hate saying that word to describe things I completely don't understand
exactly.
at all.
I mean, I wish that with the season pass thing, and this really applies to all season passes, if they just outlined what that entails at the top, nobody would have a problem. If you were like, hey, for $150 instead of $60, you get every 3 months following the 6 months after launch or whatever, you get a drop that includes 2 guns, 2 heroes, 2 maps, and then 5 cards or whatever the hell it is. It doesn't matter, but just say it up front. I mean, I'm happy to go run around Jabba's palace. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I keep saying it. This game will be a fantastic game in like a year and a half when you can grab it used or whatever. You know. Anyway. Moving on, another shooter that's hot right now. It's not really a shooter. It's Far Cry Primal, which is a shooter series, but they took the guns out and replaced them with weird rocks. You play as a caveman. If you know what this game is, we probably sound like just crazy people. I keep making dumb Flintstones jokes because that's my only point of reference for caveman stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not the only one making Flintstones references. Apparently, Ubisoft put a nice Fred Flintstone car deep at the bottom of a lake in Far Cry Primal.
There's a lot of really cool Easter eggs in this game, and this is definitely my favorite one. There's also a blood dragon in a cave. I won't spoil anything, but like I just actually kind of stumbled upon it the other day. But there it is.
Yeah, this is from.
That's the damn car. It's got the big, gross.
Yeah.
Tires
that car
and all
would
this
not.
ratty
It would
meats all
not
over.
work.
Look
It's
at
not.
that.
It's not a good. It's not a good car by any means.
Yeah.
I don't think it would work one bit. This
I think that's
gameplay
exactly
footage-
why it's at the bottom of a lake, right?
This is actually coming from Oni Zombies, this YouTuber. He found this and swam around. You can also check out. There's a Far Cry Assassins Easter egg or something.
So on the topographical map, if you look down, there's the actual like Assassins insignia thing.
I like how people figured out that the map for Far Cry Primal is the same map as Far Cry 4.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
That's
It's
really
just-
interesting.
I mean, is that cheap? Is that lazy?
So-
They reused a map but filled it with cavemen instead of
So yeah, for people that haven't
cars?
seen it, I don't know. Can you pull that up real quick if you can find it? But somebody figured out that the map in Far Cry Primal and the map in Far Cry 4 are like from the overhead perspective the exact same map. I think you'll be able to find it. Yeah, I think there it is.
let me see what I can do.
So here's the thing. I played this game for 32 hours. I didn't notice this. I had no idea this was even happening. And it's also, they take place in wildly different time periods, so I don't know if one preceded the other. They're also probably from different parts of the world, so it doesn't really make a ton of sense.
Yeah, they showed up on the Reddit or gaming subreddit.
Yeah.
And of course, by way of Imager. Yeah, look at that. It's just same crap, you know?
Even the same, like the river formation's the same. But I played this game so often that I didn't actually notice this. It's really weird. I think they even put the snow areas in different spaces. So from like an overhead perspective, it's sort of like saying that this square is the same as this square, but it's what's inside that counts.
Yeah.
So actually, like the topography of this map is completely different than the other one. I think it's like really fascinating that they did that and no one really noticed it. And then I found out and I didn't get mad. Like I've played reskins of games where I'm like, oh, that's cheap, and this just felt like a new game.
I mean, that's a testament to how different of a game Far Cry Primal is. We have fun with that. If you like the cavemen, you should probably get into it. Okay, so here is a thing that is happening.
Yep.
They're making Nathan Drake. He's making him stay in the box longer.
They are
making him hide in his little hole.
Yeah.
He's staying in there. Uncharted 4 got yet another delay. What's going on with this?
So this is probably, I think this is the third or fourth time Uncharted 4 has been delayed. Not like that's a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I think people hear delay and they get worried. I've been like, not skeptical, but just a little bit just a little apprehensive about the development of this game. There's been some sort of like vocal people leaving, some comings and goings. We had Amy Hennig. We have some of the voice actors kind of swatch roles. This game is getting delayed by 2 weeks because they want to launch it globally. And I think a big part of that is the manufacturing needs, which is what they said outright. And I think an even bigger part of that is the collector's edition. If you look at something like Arkham Knight, which came out last year,
Sure.
That collector's edition was a disaster. Remember, it was like breaking, and they recalled it and stuff like that. It was like just a big bat vehicle that just kept falling apart.
That big tank.
Yeah. So this is now going to have a simultaneous launch worldwide 2 weeks later than it was originally intended, and that's great and all if you love big boxes full of statues and discs and stuff like that. But for me, I don't care. If the game is done, drag and drop the file on the PSN and let me play it 2 weeks earlier. So I actually had this conversation in the Podcast Beyond group, Facebook group, plug. Go check them out. Shout out to those guys. We actually do a show called Podcast Beyond right here at IGN every week. It's a PlayStation show. Nathan Drake, big guy on PlayStation if you haven't noticed. And there was a lot of interesting opinions about this situation because I think a lot of people want games to be on discs forever. And in many ways, I think that they're right.
Well, there's two reasons for that. One is that people do like to resell games, which I am fully in support of. I think that's a great way to get more bang for your buck.
Sure.
Also keep games kind of alive because, remember PT? Remember that just get yanked off the store and now it's disappeared forever?
And I deleted that game and now I can never download it again.
That's a bummer. And then, of course, there's the fact that, some people don't have fast enough internet to download a massive game like Uncharted 4 is probably going to be. You might get screwed on the cost of your internet, or it might just take forever. So.
I'd like to add a really big number 3 as well, which I think is the sort of preservation of games that I think a lot of people forget. In that, if I download a game, there are so many games I downloaded on Xbox Live Arcade, which I don't know if I can access anymore. Like some get pulled down. Like for example, BioShock. I bought BioShock on my iPhone. It's gone. Yeah, bad port. Our producer Zach is laughing over here. It's a bad idea. But that game doesn't exist anymore. You can't go download that. So if I deleted it and I want to go get it again, I just can't. They actually haven't updated it to work on my iPhone 6 because they just stopped caring. So that's a big problem.
It's almost like that was a waste of your money.
Yeah, it was a waste of my money. Absolutely. But so that's the big question is like moving forward into a more digital age, which spoilers, we are 100% doing. If you look 10 years ago, we used to there were still DVDs everywhere, right? 15 years ago, you used to work at Tower Records, right?
Yeah.
I used to rent movies from Blockbuster. All of those places are gone now. Your entire massive wall of CDs and DVDs is now Netflix, Spotify. There are little tiny squares. You okay back there?
Fall off my chair. Stupid chair.
So that being said, I want to play this game 2 weeks early. If it's done digitally, I should be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a popular opinion, but I think for people that don't really care about discs, which I don't have a lot of clutter at home.
I don't know. I think with the digital age, I think like early access stuff should happen more. We're getting we're getting betas for the Uncharted multiplayer, which is partially to stress test, but also kind of acting like a demo. It's a promotional thing. Most betas at this point are. I don't know. I feel like that if it's done, let people have it. People have pre-ordered it. They've been waiting for it. It's like I also I'm really sick of games like getting delayed. It's like I think that if after your second delay you're not like, let's be safe about this one. Like the fact that they're doing it's how many weeks are they delaying at this point? Like
it's 2 weeks at this point.
Like 2 weeks. Like that's almost negligible. It's just kind of like maybe they should have just scheduled. I don't know how this stuff works.
Yeah,
we talk out of our asses about this.
Yeah.
But
So I was
Uncharted 4 looks like an immensely complicated thing to make, but I don't know. You're right.
In the Podcast Beyond Facebook group where I brought up this conversation, I was getting kind of like not a heated, but sort of a prickly, ticklish conversation with a man named Sean Mesler.
Ticklish conversation.
And he brought up the point that, which is an interesting one, that if the game launches 2 weeks early digitally, like what happens to multiplayer? Right? Because then we get a leg up on anybody else playing it later. To which I said, hold the multiplayer for 2 weeks. So this is like, we're heading into very weird times, and it's cool to be documenting it right now because we are moving away from a physical age into a digital, but video game preservation is still important. And internet's not really where it needs to be worldwide, where people can download a 60 gigabyte game. So this is going to be a fun few years. So as they say around IGN, keep it locked.
Yes.
Don't move.
Yes.
We don't say that. We don't say don't move.
Well, that was a good show, Brian. We did a good job.
Yeah, we did really good.
Unfortunately, the show isn't over. We have a lot more to talk about. Batman and Superman are going to fight. Did you hear about it? They're making a whole film about how those guys want to get together and just hit each other right around the mouth. Big old slapping boys. Superman's real strong, so Batman got a robot costume to wear. They put up the tickets for pre-sale, and they are kicking some ass.
Yeah,
like they're going strong.
This is a new thing nowadays where we're actually able to, before something even happens, chart ticket sales in real time on the fly before a movie even goes live. Like, there's one thing to look at video game pre-order sales. It's another thing to be like, movie tickets are being sold everywhere. But movie tickets are being sold everywhere for this film. And I think it's like, at first I was like, you know what? I'm a little apprehensive about this movie because I wasn't wild about the last Superman movie and I wasn't wild about the last Batman movie, but I wasn't wild about the last 3 Star Wars movies, and that didn't stop ticket sales for Force Awakens for getting bought up like crazy. So right now, ticket sales for Batman vs. Superman are actually already surpassing Age of Ultron. It did in its first 5 hours, and that was it's one of the highest grossing movies of all time, absolutely one of the highest grossing of the year. It's outperforming Jurassic World, which is not too surprising.
So keep going on there. This is like recent movie sales and stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this seems like a very recent thing to be reporting.
Yes, 100%.
Like tracking. I mean, first of all, I remember like if you wanted to get advanced tickets for like Star Wars prequels, that was like an exception. People would camp out to buy tickets for that or to get seats or whatever. And I feel like it wasn't. There was no. People weren't keeping track of how many tickets were sold. Like there weren't reports about box office numbers before the movies had come out. Like this seems kind of odd. We've got like Jurassic World, Age of Ultron, Star Wars on there, but those are all like incredibly recent.
Yeah.
And this seems like maybe like it's weird to try to quantify the success of a movie or to report on like it doing a lot of money like that has anything to do with whether or not it's a good movie. But like I guess we're kind of in the age of fandom and hype, where if you're like voting with your wallet, you're like, yeah, go Batman, go Superman.
Well, we're all absolutely, and we're also in an age where I don't think it matters if things are good anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, so I think this movie is going to be
fine.
fine.
See that Minions movie?
No.
One of those Minions had a thong. He wore a thong underwear.
Did you see Ridiculous Six?
Is disgusting.
The Adam Sandler movie on Netflix?
The Minion had an underwear that went up in its butt crack.
Okay.
It was just right in the cheeks.
No, I didn't see that movie because I don't have children.
So many people saw that film though.
Yeah, I haven't.
A lot of people saw the Minions.
Why would I see the Minions?
A lot of people saw the Minions.
Who cares about the Minions? Stop.
Batman and Superman are going to fight in that movie.
They're
not going to go see it?
They're not going to fight Minions.
You go see it opening night?
Yeah, we're going together, you idiot.
Did we get tickets?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I guess we're going to go see Batman and Superman. Are you guys going to go see it? Let us know in the comments. Let us know. Are you excited? Are you like cautiously optimistic? Are you cautiously just going to go see it? Are you eagerly awaiting like a weird train wreck with hands full of money and popcorn?
Do you think this movie's going to outperform Force Awakens?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. Maybe? I don't know. China, it's up to you.
Yeah, it really is, honestly.
That kind of what's going to come down to.
I think that and I still maintain this, but I think Force Awakens was the kind of movie that people like you and me saw 3 times. And I think that's really what helped bump the sales up a lot. I don't know if the amount of people. I think more people saw Avatar, and more people saw Titanic. Whereas with Star Wars, I think less people saw it more times.
Do you think there's somebody out there who only ever sees James Cameron movies? Like they only go to the movies to see James Cameron's movies.
Sure.
And they're going to go see all the Avatar sequels a lot. Okay, so moving on. One movie that came out a very long time ago was a little movie called Doom.
What?
And we're not going to talk about the Doom movie, but we did something really, really stupid. We tried to play Doom with a Tony Hawk ride controller.
What is wrong with us?
Let's see how that worked out.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian Altano and this is Max Scoville, and today we're playing Doom, the original, but we're playing it with the Tony Hawk ride controller.
Yeah, this is like the most extreme 90s thing you could do. You got a crazy peripheral skateboard device, and we're going to play Doom. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see how this works.
So let's hop in there and check it out and do all of our slick jump moves to get through Doom.
I'm going to put this on
demons in
nightmare mode. I'm going to kick some ass.
Hell yeah. Hardest mode.
Let's do... I guess we can only do the first one. All right, let's get in here and see how this works.
Okay.
Yeah, time to kick some ass.
Butt rockin'. Do the stunts.
Yeah. Hold on, wait. Whoa, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we got a punch?
Yeah.
Got a punch. There we go. There we go.
Wait, hold on. Let's switch to the other gun.
Yeah. Guns. Skateboard gun shooters.
How do you...
All of our ammo's going away. How do you stop doing that? Can you stop it?
What did you... I don't even know what I did.
It's doing 6 stunts on its own. Stop shooting.
I'm trying. Whoa, hold on. do sick flips.
Hold on, you got the. All right, so we got our fists out again. All right, can we move?
How does...
Just get the guy and move on. Move through the. Why doesn't it work?
This game is hard.
Why doesn't it? Get it. Use the Tony Hawk. If you're watching at home, you can use your old Tony Hawk ride controller to play. Why doesn't it work?
This game sucks.
Stupid. What? Just walk. You gotta walk. You gotta get us out of hell. You gotta walk. You gotta walk.
Do you go by... Do you have to do an ollie?
Slam it.
This doesn't help at all.
It doesn't work.
This game's...
Hold on.
This controller isn't made for this game at all. You gonna do it? Do it. Is it working? That didn't...
Doesn't work. The controller doesn't work.
Turns out you can't play Doom with a Tony Hawk rod controller. It doesn't work at all.
That didn't work at all.
No,
It was that controller isn't made to play that game with it. And that's the truth.
I actually had to tell somebody yesterday that I hurt my leg on the Tony Hawk air skateboard.
I feel like every
In
day
2016.
we go home and we tell our significant others stuff that sounds like things second graders tell their moms that they don't care about.
It's incredibly stupid.
I want to show you in the Let's Play room, and I jumped on the skateboard and I fell off the terrace. It really hurt my leg.
Yep.
All right, so the truth
Yeah.
has powered this episode. And they're here to prevent Catmageddon. So
Yeah.
stop smoking cigarettes because it's bad for cats. Cats are a kind of animal. We like them here on the internet, but really, we want to talk about the top 9 actual animals that ever have existed in real life.
That's right.
Forever.
That's right.
Right now.
Hold on. I want to take a moment. I want to take a very important moment.
Are you going to say grace?
No. I've been at IGN for over 6 years. And for that entire time, I've seen so many top 100, so many top 10, so many ranked things go up. And for years I've said, you know what? I would really love to rank animals. And
Yes.
everyone looked at me and laughed. Well, who's laughing now? Because now Max Scoville and Brian Altano are ranking the animals.
Yeah, so you know who wrote this list of animals? Me. Brian didn't write it. He wanted to, but he did not do it.
I helped.
So here are the top 9 animals
What an ass.
ever made by nature. Let's go. Number 9, the tiger.
Tigers are great.
The tiger is an animal that is a huge cat that can swim. It is very big.
Yeah?
Number 8.
What?
The anaconda.
Great snake.
It's a huge... Do you want to talk about the tiger
Yeah, let's
more?
get back to that
Talk
tiger.
To the tiger.
Okay, so tigers are fantastic because they look like really bad art plus a cat. They're really a wonderful animal.
That's not fair to say because the bad art was inspired by tigers.
I don't know. I don't
think
know about
so.
that. Jury's out on that one.
I would say they look like somebody who can't look at grass well.
Yeah.
Like if you got really punched in the face really hard and looked at grass, you might be like, damn, that grass looks crazy.
Yep.
And maybe that's whoever made up tigers did that.
Tigers are great because they're cats. They'll sleep anywhere.
Their heads are huge, the size of pumpkins.
If a tiger licks your hand, it hurts because they have sandpaper hands.
They have
sandpaper
weird
tongues.
other parts of their body that we can't talk about.
That's right.
It's safe for work.
Donguses.
Moving up, number 8, the anaconda.
Yeah.
The world's largest snake that has eaten John Voight.
Yeah, this is just basically a long, crazy rope that you can
Anaconda
find
the
in
movie.
the grass.
Anaconda the movie is about a movie where a team of guys gets on a boat and they want to go and they want to see the snake, but it eats them, and it's really stupid looking.
Anaconda was really a movie about the resilience of Jennifer Lopez to still keep doing movies after Anaconda.
That's the weirdest bunch of people in that
Yeah.
film. I like the part where the man got the thing in his throat.
Number 7,
the falcon. The world's fastest bird. It's so fast, it goes like 100 miles an hour.
A+
probably.
animal. Look at that thing.
I like how falcons are like vicious dogs of the sky
Yeah.
because weird dudes with gloves can train them into attacking other stuff.
This is actually one of the top 3 things that you used to see before you died for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then we added more things.
If we ever make one
Like
flag
trains.
for the entire world, I hope it's this one.
Yeah.
Falcons are cool.
Number 6.
The Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Everyone likes Scorpions.
Not the band. The band is not good.
I like the band.
No.
They're great.
The animal is better than the
I
band.
think they're German.
Really?
I think so.
Okay, well,
I'm not
scorpions
sure.
are not.
Scorpions are from all over the world, and they're cool because they're technically spiders, but they're not really because they're arachnids.
Yeah,
which aren't even bugs.
Land lobsters, they call them.
Yes, the world's coolest crabs. They've got pinchers and they've got stingers. So they're kind of like those guns that have like swords on them, but they're animals.
Yeah, if your finger was hovering over that downvote button, now's the chance.
If you think this is a bad video, let us know in the comments. We don't care because we're looking at a picture of a scorpion. Number 5, the horse.
What?
The regular ass horse.
Easily a number 1 animal.
It's an okay animal.
No, easily a top 1
It's
animal.
not a top 1 animal.
It's the only one so far you can ride.
A 12-year-old girl who wears sweatpants to school.
Shut up. Horses are great. Look at that
Horses
thing.
are fine.
Look,
They're
he looks like a wet bag.
They're pretty good. Number 4, the chimpanzee.
Doing a dunk.
Chimpanzees most of the time look like they're up to no good, but they also look like human people. And they have weird little fingers that also look like feet and hands.
They throw poops, and that's why we love them. If you put a diaper on them, you can put them on Friends.
Yeah. No. All right. Number 3, bears.
High-fiving a bear. Last
Bears.
thing you used to see before you died as well, before we added new things to kill you.
A lot of people don't realize this, but bears are huge. They're very big animals. They're really, really large. They're about the size of a tiny car like a Fiat.
Yeah, this one's taking up your whole screen right now.
He's big. He's a big boy. Look at that big nose. A lot of people don't realize it, but they're actually descended from not dogs, but from other kinds of bears.
Real talk, if bears didn't kill you or have claws or teeth, they'd be adorable.
Number 2, the weird-looking fox bat. What is it? What animal
That's
is
a
it?
flying squirrel. I'll put
what?
it this way. If you like squirrels and you wish they could get from tree to tree a little bit faster, guess what? This dude has you covered.
Wow. I didn't know that was even one.
Yes.
Number 1, the great white shark.
Sharks!
The gun of the ocean.
Yeah.
America's fist.
Swords of the sea.
The coolest king of the ground.
That's right.
The reason that gravity keeps water on the ground instead of on the land.
Underwater paper shredders.
Go back.
What?
That's a sugar glider.
That's not a sugar glider. That's
Oh,
a flying
yeah.
squirrel.
That's
Brian
a
just
sugar
told us
glider.
about it.
That's a
Our
flying
producer's
squirrel.
telling us that that's a sugar glider.
What the hell is
A
that?
sugar glider is a delicious treat you can throw into your friend's mouth. Everyone knows that. It's a summer delight.
What
Go
are you
down to
talking
the-
about, sugar?
Go down to the ice cream truck when you hear that jingle and get a sugar glider.
Number 1, sharks.
Sharks, the great
Swords
white
of the
shark.
sea.
America's coolest videos from sharks. A whole week worth of animals from these sharks. Look at his nose. It's from bashing it into broken glass like an idiot.
Yeah, he got blood all over his mouth trying to open up a can in the sea because he found a can of beans
Don't
down
ever
there.
try to eat one of these sharks because they're going to eat you. And
Don't
that
throw beans in the
concludes-
ocean.
What?
If you throw a can of beans in the
Do you know
ocean.
how metal a shark is? The way you catch one is you throw blood off a boat. You just get a bunch of blood, you throw it in the water, and the sharks are like, "Who's doing this? That's gross! Stop it! And let me eat you." Anyway,
And
that
those are the
concludes-
top 10 animals. 9
It
if
was-
you consider that sugar squirrels or whatever they're called, gliders, are different than flying squirrels. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just come up with one name.
And you know what? Cigarettes are not good for any of those animals, so don't do them.
I'm really winded right now.
That was really exciting.
At Mart_Taylor says, I'm disappointed horse was so low. When are you both going horse riding? Good question. I think it's ridiculous that an animal of that majesty would be at 5 and not 1. Are you nuts? We've been talking about riding horses for years.
You know what's great is if I went back in time and I said, hey, this weird guy on Twitter keeps asking if I want to come to Florida with my friend and do a photo shoot on his horses, the person in the past would say, what's Twitter?
Yeah, that's also
But really, friend in Florida, we would like to go there to ride your horses.
That's the elevator pitch for a Canadian horror film.
Yeah, that's true. So, speaking of animals and the stuff that they do, they keep naming different superheroes after them. We just talked about Batman v Superman.
That's
a bat
right.
is a night animal. A super is like a guy who owns apartments.
A man is
yeah,
not an animal.
superintendent man.
A Wonder Woman is it's just a woman.
I wonder what. Anyway, we got the first look at what to expect from that.
For what?
You want to pull that up? The Batman vs Superman just now while we were
Oh yeah,
we were goofing
before
around.
we show this picture, let's show the old picture again of Batman vs Superman.
That's the wrong one. That's the wrong. Okay.
You blew it.
Okay, everybody blew it. We
Anyway,
all screwed up.
here that's a boss that's mad at his employees. We're gonna get that after this. The first reviews for Batman vs Superman are starting to trickle in. Where are we going here?
Yeah, so it's Entertainment Weekly's Anthony Bresnikan gives a quick review. Here's what he has to say.
Yeah, close your eyes
Let's
for
take a
10
look.
seconds. There's no spoiler stuff in here. I'm going to do a dramatic reading. He went to Twitter and just put up a quick couple of thoughts. He says, number 1, if you loved Man of Steel, you'll love Batman vs. Superman. Okay, well that cuts off a lot of people. Number 2, if you loved Man of Steel but not the end, Batman vs Superman may redeem that. That brings me right back into your arms. Number 3, if you hated Man of Steel and the whole grim dark thing, okay, this is probably not for you. Number 4, Wonder Woman is fearsome. Number 5, there's a moment between Batman and Superman that'll make even the most cynical eye tear up a little. And number 6, fans will have a lot to discuss and fight over. This is pretty awesome. This is good news.
That is good news.
This usually, the first couple of words that come in for something like this is kind of indicative of where the rest of it goes. I remember reading the early stuff on Deadpool and being like, oh, Deadpool fans love Deadpool. That's not surprising. But we love Deadpool, and that was a great film. So
yeah,
I think this is good news for this movie. As we said earlier in the show, it's already outperforming Age of Ultron in terms of pre-release ticket sales. Might even beat Star Wars. So if you're into that, go buy your tickets now and go see Batman vs. Superman very, very soon. March 25th? 24th? Is that the weekend? Yeah? No?
I don't know.
Great. Good talk.
All right, so that's going to do well at the box office until Spider-Man swings back into theaters.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody likes Spider-Man the best.
And
Spider-Man's
puns.
Number one, Spider-Man. So there's a bunch of people petitioning to get J.K. Simmons, this man. We have, wow, look at that. We got that picture there.
Which
Check
stands
out my
for,
computer.
it stands for Just Kidding, Simmons.
Yeah, he's not related to J.K. Rowling because that's not how initials work. But basically, a bunch of fans are petitioning to get him to come back and join the Disney Marvel Cinematic Universe because he was attached to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. I want this to happen so badly.
Me too.
I am in such a he's such a perfect J. Jonah Jameson. He's fantastic. Basically, he responded though, and he was like, "Hey, not really how that works. The people who are petitioning this aren't really in a position to, decide that. But." He's going to leave the door open to that. Like, he's cool. He's cool coming back.
He said, "I'll never close the door on anything," which is a weird quote because, like, how do you poop?
I bet his house is just full of bugs, which is probably why he wishes he had more spiders.
And turd air.
Man. Anyway,
from poops.
So the best thing that could happen with this guy is that if they put him in the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we would have J. Jonah Jameson as kind of comic relief to chime in on what he thinks of all these different superheroes.
Oh, that'd be so good.
I want Jameson, like when he was in the Spider-Man movies that Raimi was doing, there weren't really other superhero movies existing in the same space.
No.
So to have him be like, Doctor Strange? I don't like the sound of it. That's no good at all. Nonsense.
What do you mean there's a tiny man
Who the hell's Moon Knight? No one knows about Moon Knight. Bring back Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The Avengers, back at it again. America's heroes. Love them. Love them. Just love them. I want to see that kind of stuff with just the entire, Marvel Cinematic. Even if you made like a cameo on like Daredevil or something, that would be fantastic. So on that note, I would like J.K. Simmons to come back, and if Marvel recasts him as somebody else, go to hell.
Yeah, that's wrong. There's only one
bit.
man. He was born for that job. That and playing that dude on Oz that did some horrible things.
Parker, get in here. I need pictures of Moon Knight's ass.
It's not what he said on Oz. He did worse things to butts on Oz. Anyway, so that's not even the weirdest movie news. There's a movie that came out recently called Gods of Egypt. If you're excited for it, I'm sorry.
Yep.
People really hate this movie.
It's not doing so hot. It's currently sitting at 12% on Rotten
What's he
Tomatoes. Looking sad.
It looks like there's a tall woman in front of him in the theater, and he's trying to look past her head.
Oh, that's his shoulder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they put a large piece of hair on it so that he could brush it.
Oh, really?
No.
Is he dating a yak?
It's a weird cape thing.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Gods of Egypt performed really badly. It was directed by Alex Proyas, who did Knowing, that movie by Nicolas Cage, knowing stuff, as well as The Crow. It's a huge, big budget movie. I think it was $140 million to make, and it made $14 million in the opening weekend, which is very not good. In fact, some would say it is bad.
Yeah.
Critically, movie is not doing so hot. As we mentioned, 12% Rotten Tomato. Here is some of the stuff that critics are saying about it. They are not pleased with it. Let's take a look. Gods of Egypt is a dull, meandering plastic mess of pre-2002 CGI and performances as flat as the green screens behind them. Pew, 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 pew.
Damn.
The consequence of sound, indeed.
Ooh.
Then, of course, we've got Tulsa World, a reputable cinematic establishment. This is a movie for 10-year-olds and mouth breathers. Going right for the throat. Also, some people might not even agree with that about 10-year-olds. Who knows? Alex Proyas apologized for not using actual Egyptians in Egyptian roles. Fun fact, Egypt is on the continent known as Africa, which is not historically where people are known to have a lot of white people in there.
Nope.
Yep, that was a sentence. Anyway, he apologized for none of Egyptians and Egyptians. A few of us care. A more important apology might be for the movie's third act. Tri-City Herald coming in with the hot fire.
Cat scratchy.
The Battlefield Earth of sword and sorcery movies.
Oh, that, man.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie, Battlefield Earth?
No.
I actually haven't seen that movie either.
Do you
want to watch that together one day?
Yeah, I would love to.
That's
And then after
awesome.
that, I want to go in the yard and stare at the sun until my eyes cease to work. This is by any measure a dreadful movie, a chintzy, CG-encrusted eyesore that oozes stupidity and self-indulgence from its every pore. Wow, that certainly is a variety of mental images. Variety.
Wow.
Then, of course, there is... This is my favorite. Watching Gods of Egypt is like willingly heating up a giant pot filled with diarrhea until it's as hot as liquid magma and then slowly dripping that stinky, scorching fecal juice into your eye sockets one drop at a time for 2 hours straight. Examiner.com. Also, like, Examiner, can you write, like, some metal songs? Because, yeah. All right. And
Yo,
then finally,
I didn't know you could do that at Examiner.com. That's
Finally-
I want to write like that at IGN.
my favorite one of all, from Hollywood Reporter, they just said, oh dear.
Wow. Good time to be alive. Gods of Egypt is in theaters last week.
Yeah,
it's
if
probably
you-
on DVD by now. Direct to Crackle.
Yeah, so Gods of Egypt probably not going to be the start of another big cinematic universe. I don't see that really happening.
So we put a bar review for that movie, and I saw a couple of people being like, you know, that's fine. I love IGN's reviews, but not for their movies. I'm going to go somewhere else for their movies reviews. Well, there you go.
there you go, yeah.
Have fun.
I don't think our review was mean enough if I had to look at
not
that.
at all.
So here's a cool piece of thing that happened, I guess. We got a great piece of research that shows off which of the states of America watch the most cartoons.
Yeah.
Everybody loves cartoons, right? Cartoons are awesome. Do you think you come from a state that watches the most cartoons? Well, let's check out this map and see if that's true.
Man.
So check it out. Right here we got this map that shows off all the United States, and it shows that popular in Vermont, what are these other states? You know these-
Tennessee, Arkansas, Nebraska, they really love cartoons.
Yeah,
They
cartoons
stay up
are-
all night long. They watch stuff like Cowboy Bebop and Dragon Ball and Princess Jellyfish.
What's
and-
Princess Jellyfish?
Does that say Pornhub?
Oh.
Oh. Oh, dude, this is not cartoons. This is a map of stuff this is a map of porn.
So,
Oh.
in other news, the HTC Vive is up for pre-order now, and we have one.
Yeah.
We have one in the office.
Yeah, we
right
got-
here. We have it. Hold on, it's under a pile of trash.
Yeah, we got a Vive.
The future is here, and it's a cool, cool hat. I'm gonna put it on my face and wear it right now.
Did that map say stepsister?
Can't hear you. I'm in the future.
Yeah,
So-
the Vive.
Yeah, HTC Vive. This
Virtual
is,
reality
of course,
is here.
This is, of course, Valve and HTC's VR hat. It's gorgeous. I haven't actually used this one myself up until yesterday. We would have shot some videos with it, but we just got it set up like literally last night.
Yeah.
So kind of coming in hot.
Complicated
here, but
setup, by
I
the
did want
way,
to show
right?
this off. This is a very nice piece of hardware, as you might guess by the fact that it's like $800. It's got this cool thing over here. It's got this little focus adjuster where you can like basically twist it. It's got this freaky camera at the front so that you can stare at people and look like a bug. But most interestingly enough, it fits on this robot chimpanzee head. Let's get on there. This is something we're doing with this piece of hardware. Get on the head. What do you think of it? The future's great, isn't it, Monkey Man? What do you think? Can you see into a whole new world?
Oh, he really loves it. He loves going to the powerful world of VR.
Bite my fingers. Ow! Good Lord. Yeah. So anyway, that's an HTC Vive on a robot. Shut up. Shh. We also got the cool little paddle things that you use with your hands. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, we actually got a chance to play around with this.
Stop it.
Shut up.
Oh, his eyes are moving. Kill it. You have to shut it off. It's going to keep talking if you don't
That
shut
happens sometimes. So anyway, I got to jump in the HTC Vive. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, really. I drew a big wiener. Like you draw like a... Can you just turn it off, or like... What are you doing? Put that down. It's really awful. That thing is so bad. It feels like the stickiest Halloween mask.
Did we really go from the porn map to that?
I mean, worse things have happened. Remember that time Zach tripped in front of the camera? That's pretty good.
No one remembers that.
So anyway, Yeah, so I went in there. They've got this program called Tilt Brush, which is basically a VR MS Paint, but that's kind of selling it short. It's made by Google. It's a 3D art environment where you've got this, like, you take one of these things and you go like this, and it shows this weird like box thing, and then you use this as a brush, and you can paint it every which way.
Yep.
I mean, it's hard to describe. It's kind of a weird thing. I definitely want to show it off a little bit, but I did a dumb thing where I took a brush that was neon glowing rainbows, and I drew a big cartoon wiener, and I drew it in a virtual space. And then I went home and I tried to explain that to my fiance and roommates, and I said, today I put on a $800 virtual reality helmet, and I drew a rude cartoon body part in a 3D environment, and it was massive. And I sounded really, really messed up and crazy. So hopefully VR takes off so that I can forget that I said that.
Yeah. I'm glad.
You put the monkey head in your lap.
I'm glad we're here in this time.
Yeah, it's a wonderful time
to
be alive.
It's good that you're using an $800 VR helmet to be alone with a pangus.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes you got to do that.
Weird, man.
Okay, so we like to buy dumb things.
Yeah,
we do that a lot.
We buy lots of dumb things.
That's a repeated problem that we have.
That's right.
Such
as this mug, which you can purchase online.
Get that out of here, sell out. So I pulled this guy out earlier. This is a large Bosk. I decided, I've kind of shown off a little bit, I collect Boba Fett stuff. I kind of sort of started to run out of Boba Fett stuff to collect because it's the stuff I don't already have, I don't really want. So I started getting Bosks. So I got these other little Bosks, and they're real stupid.
Which, by the way, I want to point out just how hard our brain damage goes. We were talking about buying different Star Wars toys online. What did I say to you the other day? I was like, I bought a vintage Rancor, and you're like, oh, cool, that's a good idea. And most of my adult friends, they're like doctors and nurses, lawyers and stuff like that. And then I come to work and I have my friend with a dumb flamingo party shirt being like, oh, it's a good idea. It's not a good idea.
I think you were talking about buying that werewolf. Get that werewolf out of
here. Okay, yeah. So
get the werewolf out.
So Max collects Bosks. I got a couple of Greedos I really like. This is a good one right here. There he is. Oh, look at those guys. Going 187 on the cover. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, you can put his hand sideways and stuff like that. We got this little guy. I actually bought Max one of these yesterday. Can we get a close up on this dude? There's a little werewolf.
These are the
The Force Awakens.
This is the Hask triplet. This is one of the guys from the Force Awakens in Maz Kanata's castle. But you only see the back of his head in the movie because J.J. Abrams got too crazy with the editing room and he cut off all the aliens.
Yep. It's a good time to be alive. We have all these dumb toys.
There, son. It'll be okay.
Hey, how about this? You like that? You like that, everybody?
Yeah.
Here, watch this. Move your hands.
It's not how they kiss. They got proboscises.
He has to kiss his forehead like an uncle.
What's going on over here?
Nothing!
Stay away from my daughter! Get away from my daughter! I'm a marshmallow!
What are we doing with our lives?
I don't know. What are we doing with our show?
I don't know.
Check these guys out. These are called Hero Mashers. They sell these like all over the place. They're made for children because they're toys. The whole idea is that kids are going to want to like combine their parts of their toys so you can make like a weird custom action figure. And they've got these for all sorts of like basically everything that, you know, Marvel's doing. What I really like though is that you can just do messed up body parts that don't make any sense. Like here's a Bosk leg foot. Or you can put Boba Fett's leg on his head. See, this would.
That's not canon, no!
Oh, no, it's a wizard's curse, and now he's got legs for heads and heads for legs. Here's my original Star Wars character. He's one of the Knights of Ren. He's Jefferson Legman. He's a real good character. He's got a grappling hook.
I want to show off a little toy I got. This is a Super Mario Matchbox car. So it's basically a little truck. It says Super Mario on the side. And they make them for all the original games. But weirdly enough, they made a car for Dr. Mario, and it's a hearse.
That's really messed up.
Yeah, the doctor's here, and he couldn't save you. But don't worry, he has a car to bring your body home in.
You know what I was thinking about the other day is how funny it would be if you bought an ambulance as your car, and you just drove around in an ambulance. And people would be like, "Oh, what's wrong? Did somebody get hurt?" And you're like, "No, sorry, I just that's the only car I could afford, an ambulance." Stop doing that. We got anything else going on?
Their lips work really well together. No, that's pretty much the whole show.
Did anybody say anything on Twitter?
Nah.
No? Really?
Nah, they don't care about us.
Really?
Yeah, they're just hanging out.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of people saying we're wonderful. Which
You
is
sure
nice.
about that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we have 10 whole minutes to just hang out. What do
Yeah.
you want to do?
Check out this ape.
Let's get comfortable.
Check out the screaming ape.
Stop it.
Check it out, the screaming ape.
Mr. Creepy, that's Mart Taylor, says if Brian had written that list of animals, it would be all horses. Brown horse, running horse, bar horse.
Dapple gray.
I've mentioned this before, but when Scott Brownlee and I worked here, we wanted to do a list of the top 25 horses in games. And one of them was the minigame horse from Jordan versus Bird.
That's
which
really
is
good.
A type of basketball. We also didn't want to put Epona on the list just to really piss people off.
I think that's brilliant to not have that on
Here,
there.
you wanna take this
There's
away from
actually
me?
there's so many more horses in games now since then. You know, like it's kind of weird how like horses just sort of blew up. Like Assassin's Creed had them, Metal Gear got them, and Witcher.
Yep.
Skyrim.
Chemical Scruff on Twitter says, "Hey, I hear you guys are having trouble mapping things out for the show." Yeah, we got through everything. We got did everything we needed.
Yeah, we
to
did
do.
all our stories. We told all of our stories.
Thanks
about
for that question,
What
though.
goes on in the world? Did I just break Bosk? Damn, his arm's broken now.
Really?
Yeah, that sucks. Got a little loose arm. What's he doing? No one knows.
Anyway,
We got to look at one of those chat rooms.
that's fine.
Go in the chat.
Why don't you shut up? You're so mean to me all the time.
No, I'm not.
Do you want to read some YouTube comments on the Ghostbusters trailer?
Sure. Why not?
There you are.
What a great idea.
No.
We could read that.
No.
No.
Zach says no.
Oh no, here's one that's
Hey,
actually.
let's read the really positive comments on the
No,
Ghostbusters
so
trailer.
obviously there's a mean reception to the Ghostbusters trailer. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't like it. They think it's bad. There's a comment on here that says it's the top one. Guess I'll just rewatch the old films instead then. That's a great idea.
Wait,
that's an
you're-
awesome idea. That's a fantastic, brilliant, brilliant idea. Do you remember the Star Wars prequels and how we didn't like them that much?
Yeah.
What did we do? We complained about it a lot, right?
Yeah, and then I just watched the
Yeah,
originals.
you watch the good ones. And that's
Yeah.
a situation where they actually went back and took stuff from the prequels and put it in the original movies,
Yep.
which is really bad. Most movies don't do that. If you don't like a sequel or a remake or a reboot, don't watch it. Watch the original. That RoboCop reboot that came out, I didn't see that because
Yeah.
it looked awful and I didn't want to see it. So I
Don't-
watched
it
original
was
RoboCop.
awful. It was awful.
I watched RoboCop a lot. It's great.
You know
RoboCop's
why?
a good movie.
Because a new thing doesn't retroactively erase the old thing.
Yeah.
It still exists. You can still watch Ghostbusters 1 and the not that great Ghostbusters 2 whenever you want.
I like Ghostbusters too.
Yeah, I do too, but it's not great.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as good as the first one.
Comedy sequels are kind of odd like that.
This is a great comment from Deathmatch. Egon never would have licked a highly explosive particle accelerator.
All right.
Yeah?
Oh, good. The Ghostbuster canon is strong there. That's good that you're keeping track of the things that would or would not happen among fictional characters from a movie about ghosts.
Hey, the rest of these comments are toilet trash, so
Yeah.
if you want to feel better about the world, don't look at them.
Yeah, look at pictures of Bosk.
Do you remember that idea that we hear a lot of pop stars say this? They're like, everyone has a voice. I don't think everyone needs one. I think it's okay if some people just don't, like most of the stuff here. It's just not necessary, you know? Here's another thing. I've actually never downvoted a video in my life. Never have. Don't
Oh,
need
I
to do
totally
that.
have. I've been mean to people.
Really?
Yeah. If I see someone who's leaving a mean comment, sometimes I'll go to their videos and download their videos.
Okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I won't tell anybody. Oh, I mean, I just did, but you know.
Yeah.
Here's a fun piece of information. Of the Star Wars bounty hunters that appear in The Empire Strikes Back, only 2 of them are entirely new costumes. Boba Fett and Zuckuss.
Yeah.
The rest of them are cobbled together from other props and parts. The mask for Bosk originally showed up in the Star Wars Cantina in A New Hope, and the spacesuit was also used by a different character in that same cantina. Meanwhile, Forlom is cobbled together from a custom head, but a protocol droid body repainted to look a little bit funkier. Zuckuss's eyes are made up of bubble wrap inside weird glass things. Bubble wrap was brand new when they were making that movie, so everyone was like, this will look space age, but if you look closely in old prop photos, it looks kind of stupid. Meanwhile, Dengar is cobbled together from...
Toilet paper.
Yep, he's a mummy made out of toilet paper. That's it.
And garbage. Why is he always covering his chin? Does he have a dewlap?
He's covered in scars because Han Solo beat him in a swoop race.
Okay. If you like
In a
other
crystal
weird
swamp.
creatures in Star Wars, Max and I just put a feature up on IGN. You can read it right after this. The top 9 animals in Star Wars. That was a fun list to work on because we had to actually debate, like, what is an animal in Star Wars? And apparently Salacious Crumb, we don't really consider an animal because he's, like, kind of more of a pet.
Yeah, he kind of... He's got fingers and
Yeah.
he laughs, which I feel like is sort of an indication of
Yep.
like a more of a person. I guess chimpanzees laugh and they have fingers and they're sort of...
Yep. Speaking
So
of,
I mean, I found that out, and I cut down on eating chimpanzee sandwiches.
speaking of fantastic space odysseys, Sam McClurg, that's at Magikarp level 9,000 on Twitter, says, talk about No Man's Sky. Did you hear about No Man's Sky this morning?
Yeah, coming out June 21st.
June 21st. We got a release date.
An endless video game coming out the week after E3.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't review games anymore.
So June 21st, I don't know where you went to high school in California, right?
Yeah.
June 21st, every single year, where I grew up in New Jersey, was about the day where you didn't have to go to school anymore and summer vacation could start.
Yeah, because of snow days, right?
Yeah, because that was another thing. It was weird because if you didn't have a lot of snow days, they let you out a few days earlier. If you did have a lot of snow days, depending on how much snow we got in December, you'd have to go up until like maybe the 27th, but never in July, right? But June 21st, and it's weird because I know a lot of people get out like when I went to college, I got out in like late May, but June 21st is pretty much the best like graduation present you can get, or the best like school year's done, I'm gonna go just hang out in space for a couple of months.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of interesting talk about this game being $60 because it's an indie game, but is it like I don't really know.
I really hate that mentality. You know, like.
So, but what is an indie game?
I mean, an indie game is like it's a game that's made by a smaller studio. It's
an independent studio.
What is an independent studio in the world of console games?
Yeah. So one of the things I brought up was like Ori and the Blind Forest is a game developed by an independent studio but published by Microsoft, who's a giant major studio. So that's kind of what's happening here. Like Sony's handling the distribution on this one. But this is a small team. This has been just a literal handful of people have worked on No Man's Sky. And it's gorgeous. It looks like, you know, like weird cel-shaded Star Wars. Like I'm super into it. So you're down with this game, right?
Yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, it might get, because it is procedurally generated, it might get repetitive at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of ready for that. I think it'll be really cool to screw around with in the summer. If it's like, I mean, they said that you can just kind of fly around and explore stuff, and if that's the case, then that seems like a nice kind of like lazy summer evening type of activity.
Yeah. We got a question from Paul Grismakowski. He says, "Where's Ethan Hawke up to?" So let's head on over to IMDb and check out the latest installment of Hawkwatch.
Ethan Hawke went into a canyon recently, and no one has seen him come out, so presumably he's still inside the canyon.
You think so?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just getting an update. They went in the canyon. Ethan Hawke is not still in there.
Yep.
So it's all good.
Ethan Hawke still looks like a little boy wearing an adult woman's wig and a fake beard to try to get a bank loan. He is currently working on Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets.
Wow.
What?
What is
the
that?
Magnificent Seven, Maudi, and In a Valley of Violence.
Wow, that sounds like an exciting family film.
Oh, and Total Recall.
Very bad. Very bad. Don't want that.
Yeah. So there's that's Hawkwatch this week. Otherwise, he's doing really good. This is a great time to be alive if you're Ethan Hawke.
Check out my custom Star Wars alien. It's a awful one.
Great.
It's real bad. It's a Bosk, but he's got baby Boba Fett legs.
That's up next. Oh, Max, I want to plug one more thing. You and I just wrapped a really fun series called Street Fighter Grudge Mash. It was an 8-episode series. You can actually find them all. We'll probably tweet out the link later. But you can find them all in one place on IGN, so you can just go through the playlist or check it out on YouTube. You and I went into Street Fighter V having not played a Street Fighter game since Street Fighter 2, really? I mean,
not even that for me, really. Like,
really?
I never knew how to play Street Fighter. I knew how to do some combos and stuff, but the whole like timing thing and just the more technical stuff I didn't know about. So.
And we sat down with 2 pro Street Fighter players.
Yeah, it was Combo Fiend and Mike Ross.
Yeah. Awesome guys. Peter Rosas and Mike Ross came into the IGN studio and they sat down with us for 8 weeks and we learned how to play Street Fighter. We actually got pretty good at it. We learned fundamentals. We learned V skills. We learned combos.
We learned friendship.
Yep. And then we went online and played each other. We also had the coaches do weird things like go blindfold or wear giant gloves on their hands to fight.
Yeah.
So the series is really awesome. I'm really proud of it. It's probably one of my favorite things we've done here in a while. So go check that out. And when you're done with that, actually no, not done with that because that's going to take you a while. But before that even happens, coming up next, Street Fighter experts Vince Ingenito and Mark Ryan, literally the 2 best Street Fighter players at IGN, are challenging you, the fans. That's you, right there. You.
You.
I'm looking at you.
See you.
to a Street Fighter V online match that's actually happening right after this episode of Up at Noon. So if you've got Street Fighter V, tune in, watch along. If you don't watch along anyway, you can hop online and fight these guys and see if you can beat up the best 2 players at IGN. We kind of got our butts kicked when we tried this last week against actual Street Fighter.
You beat somebody?
I beat
I'm
somebody.
Proud of you. That's
Yeah,
good.
you did too, right?
I
think
don't remember.
you won one
Maybe.
round.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But go watch it. Find out. Go check that out.
Yeah, so if you couldn't beat us up, you can beat up even better Street Fighters.
really good at
right
that game.
here
It's kinda scary.
on IGN. All you got to do is just stay tuned. Just sit right there where you are already. Max, what else we got going on? What are we plugging? Podcast Beyond went up this week. We had a...
Go watch the guys play Street Fighter.
Podcast Beyond. Every week on IGN, we talked about diversity in games. I shut him off. We don't care
Why?
anymore. Because
You
he's
put my ape to
disgusting.
sleep?
You put a little car in his mouth.
Don't put the car in the chimp's mouth. This is terrible.
Anyway, thanks for watching Up at Noon. I'm Brian Altano. This is Max Scoville. You are on IGN, a #1 place to be for video games, movies, entertainment, and monkeys with a car in their
Top
mouth.
9 animals of all time.